Hello everyone, I'm Dragons After Dark, and the time has come once again to react to an article about rare World of Warcraft battle pets. So, I want to point out that this will come into play later down the line. The title here says rare. That's what it says, right? Anyway, the article is from esports.net. I'm not sure why an esports page is doing something about battle pets, but here we go. World of Warcraft is known for many things: polished mechanics, intense and challenging raids, as well as some of the best player versus player combat you'll ever experience. I mean, I can't verify that one way or the other personally. However, many of you may not be aware that World of Warcraft also boasts an impressive portfolio of collectible items, many of which include rare WoW pets, mounts, and toys. Today we'll introduce you to the world of rare WoW pets and show you some of the best and rarest pets you can get your hands on. So this right here, best, is going to be their loophole for some of the pets on this list, I imagine, because yeah, it's a mess, but let's get into it. We'll show you some of the rarest and most sought after pets, again, their little loophole here, in World of Warcraft. Some of these you'll be able to grab while farming for the best WoW mounts, while others require a bit more effort. So off the bat, we're already off to a horrible start. Okay, they say the Unborn Valkyrie is an elusive pet, is probably the rarest WoW pet you can find in the open world. It spawns across multiple zones of Northrend, but the spawns are random and have a long respawn timer. And to make matters even worse, the pet has a haunt ability where she takes possession of one of your current pets and can ruin your day. Best plan your battles ahead of time, otherwise you'll get a real headache trying to capture this pet. Okay, first off, I want to point out that this was published April 25th, 2023. Someone didn't do their research. The Unborn Valkyrie's spawn rate has been reduced, which means that it spawns really quickly now. It's gonna take you probably less than 10 minutes to find one of these at the various spawn points. Like, all their spawn points are still the same. You can go to Wowhead and you can pull up the spawn points and go to those. I like the one that spawns near the Frost Brood worm that you have to kill for one of the Argent tournament dailies. I always see one there. 100% there is always one up there. But there are other spawn points you can go to for her. The point is that she's not rare at all. 100% not rare anymore. They increased her spawn rate. I don't know, or they decreased the time between her spawns, so it increases the spawn rate. You know how the verbiage goes. Anyway, my recommendation as far as her unaliving abilities in slot 3, because she has Haunt and Unholy Ascension in slot 3. And I don't think she might have access to Unholy Ascension, but if she has access to Haunt, what you really just want to do is you want to have a pet on your team that can maybe heal stuff, because all you need to do with Haunt is you need to wait out the 4 rounds. So bring in something that takes weak damage from undead to battle her. Try to capture her, of course. Don't do anything that's going to do strong damage to her. But the point is that once she haunts and Haunt drops off of her, she'll come back to life on the back line. So you just need to heal, maybe kill one of the backline pets that comes up when she haunts, and then you'll be good to go to try again to capture her again if you weren't able to on the first go around. Number 2, the Spectral Tiger Cub. LOL, not anymore. Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh into the mic. It says the Spectral Tiger Cub is one of the most prestigious pets in the game, much like the Spectral Mount. It can be obtained through the World of Warcraft TCG game and is thus incredibly rare. You can grab this pet from the auction house for a pretty hefty sum, or find a player selling one and buy it directly from them. The second option might be a bit cheaper, depending on your negotiation skills. Alright, so first of all, obviously the elephant in the room. This was created in April, so they didn't know the Spectral Tiger Cub was going to come up on the trading post, of course. But now there is a third way to get it. You can get it off of the trading post right now in July 2023. It's one of the items that's up for sale there. It will cost you 750 traders tenders, but of course there's always the freeze option if you don't have the tenders on hand because you bought something from last month that you froze. You know how it goes. This might have also knocked down the auction house price of the pet a little bit, but what Blizzard did is they made the Spectral Tiger Cub that you can purchase from the trading post uncageable, which means it cannot be caged. Whereas the TCG Spectral Tiger Cubs are still cageable, so they can still be sold on the auction house. If I was someone who was selling one, I would wait. We don't know when the Spectral Tiger Cub is going to come up again. And we don't know what the rotation's going to look like or anything like that. It might be a whole year, maybe 2, before we see it again. So hold on to your Tiger Cubs if you're trying to sell it on the auction house. I would also like to mention that I would absolutely not call this pet prestigious, for one reason and one reason only. You can purchase it with IRL money off of various websites that sell the codes and whatnot, or you purchase it with gold and now traders tenders. There is absolutely nothing prestigious about buying something. All it says is that I had the gold, I had the trader's tender now, or I had the out-of-game money in real life to spend on this item. There's nothing prestigious about that. Alright, on to number 3. They collectively said the Darkmoon Fair pets. Instead of listing just a single Darkmoon Fair pet, we've decided to mention all of them. They are relatively the same in terms of price and in terms of actual pet battling power. In case you're unaware, Darkmoon Fair is a monthly event that lasts for a whole week. Players can complete fun daily activities and earn Darkmoon prize tickets, which they can then exchange for rare rewards such as battle pets and mounts. Looking through this entire list here, none of them are rare. Like, the Darkmoon Fair has been out for so incredibly long that all of these pets are super easy to get. I don't know what else to say. It's been out for a really long time, and, especially, like, the Tonk and the Zeppelin have, like, almost 80% of profiles who have them on the team because they're used in so many strategies. So, yeah, I don't know. 100% not this one, Chief. Number 4, the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling. This pet might not be the rarest of the bunch, but it's certainly one of the best ones for pet battles. The reason this pet is so sought after is its SS Speed Breed and Toolkit moveset. This pet is incredibly fast and will almost always attack first, helping you set up for tough battles. So, with power creep, its speed isn't so great anymore, but it can still outspeed, like, 75% of the pets we go against, maybe. The pet's decoy ability is also incredibly powerful. Yeah, because it's faster. Decoy, when you're slower, you'd have to plan things out and it's situational, and same with decoy. Generally, I use the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling for explode in slot 3. Anyway, it goes on to describe the decoy ability. It places a crate that lasts for 2 turns and blocks 2 attacks. When coupled with the pet's innate speed, this ability comes almost game-breaking in certain scenarios. That's a little dramatic. You can either ask an engineer to craft this pet for you or purchase one from the auction house. Alright, first of all, I would like to comment about how they didn't even have the decency to grab the correct image. This is not a mechanical Pandaren Dragonling. This is the Azure Windseeker. This is not the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling, so big strike on you there. Might not be the rarest of the bunch is a massive understatement, because it's one of the pets that's probably closest to a 100% ownership rating that you're going to see. I can agree with them about it being handy, of course, because its speed can come in handy for the pets that haven't, for the enemies that haven't gone through the power creep where we're seeing enemies with like over 350 speed and stuff like that. But it is still a very handy pet. I would 100% recommend you grabbing one if you don't already have one. But rare? No. And also no to the image. Okay, so number 5, the Ethereal Soul Trader. They say this is a unique pet in many regards. It's a non-combat pet, so it can't be summoned in pet battles. However, this pet can also serve as a vendor, offering limited supplies and saving you time from having to walk or port to sell your stuff while outdoors. I don't think we needed to add the while outdoors thing. Like, you can summon them inside. You can summon them anywhere. That's why they're slightly more handy than having, say, a mount that you can vendor stuff on, because you can use this indoors, but then you can also have jeeves, and there's a lot of options, but this one won't take up a bag space, and I don't know, like, Not only is it incredibly useful, but also very rare. Ethereal Soul Trader, much like the Spectral Cub, is part of the World of Warcraft TCG game. It's very expensive, but well worth the price. If you're looking at it from a collecting perspective, then yeah, sure, it's worth the price. As far as being a vendor, you've got other options that are maybe handier, like Jeeves will actually let you repair stuff, and then if you're outside, you can use any of your mounts, so, The only thing that this pet can do that other items, mounts, or what have you can't do is that it does have a transmog set that you can get. Basically, what you need to do is you need to have this guy summoned while you're killing creatures, and as you kill them, you will get they're called like ethereal credits or something like that, and you can use those to purchase the transmog set. It looks like they're mummy wraps. So if that's something you want to be able to grab as a transmog collector, then yeah, sure, it's well worth the price. Outside of that transmog and outside of the collecting perspective of getting every pet you can in the game, I would not say it's well worth the price personally, but rare, probably at this point, the rarest we have seen on the list so far, and I've looked ahead and I think it's the rarest we'll see on the list in overall. This one makes me want to have a word, several words, with the person who wrote this. The Anubisth Idol. So this pet is definitely the loophole pet I was talking about earlier when it said like handy pets to have or most used pets or what have you. Good pets to have on your roster. So it says Anubisth Idol is another incredible pet for pet battles. It drops from Valkyrie from Emperor Veclor specifically and is widely used for taming and leveling other pets. Valkyrie is still one of the best World of Warcraft raids, and one that's frequently farmed, so this pet is not that hard to get. If you're looking for an all-purpose pet that's extremely tanky and deals tons of damage, the Anubisth Idol should be the first pet on your list to get. That, I would kind of disagree with. I mean, it wouldn't be my first pick, but I have a personal bias against the Idol. I hate the reduced chance to hit during Sandstorm. There is nothing that irritates me more than missing a hit on something because I put up something that made me miss. So that's my personal gripe with the Idol. However, they're not wrong. If you kind of want a pet that's decent for tanking things, like if you're catching wild pets and maybe you don't have something like the Corgi Pup or something that has super bark or weakening blows, this pet can be pretty decent to help you capture wild pets because it has like the ranged ability on Crush, and despite what they said deals tons of damage, it doesn't deal a ton of damage overall. Like its power is The only reason it seems like it deals a ton of damage is because of Sandstorm, and it's not hard to deal a ton of damage with Sandstorm because it's a big hit weather ability. It can be a really good pet to have because of Deflection and Sandstorm, and then you can use Crush or... yeah, definitely use Crush, don't use Demolish. Oh my gosh, those are the worst strats to verify. My other gripe with the Anubisth Idol is it takes forever to kill stuff. Like, legit. It takes forever. Like, so if you don't mind 20 plus round strategies, yeah, you can single pet fights with the Anubisth Idol, a lot of fights. As long as you don't mind being there for 2.5 to 3 minutes, go for it. You can probably get through most things with the Anubisth Idol, and then it has the Emerald Proto-Whelp in the back. Those two, yeah, probably take care of just about anything, but it's gonna take you forever. Anyway, enough ranting about the Idol. 100% not rare. They use this as a loophole, but I would like to remind everyone. Rare. Right? Rare. It is not rare. Not even close. It's probably up there with the mechanical Pandaren Dragonling and the percent of profiles that have it, because it's so easy to get. The next one they have on the list is Ball. They say this pet is not necessarily the strongest in pet battles, nor can you interact with it in any way outside of battles. However, it is incredibly rare, and requires a lot of running around in order to obtain it. This is what makes it rare in the eyes of many collectors. This pet is located in the Frostfire Ridge. You'll have to first collect lots of pebbles before attempting to tame this pet. Luckily, there's a lot of guides on the internet that you can use in order to speedrun this process. Not necessarily strong in pet battles, that's a big no bueno, that's a fib. Its popularity on Zufus is high. It's in like over 100 strategies since it has been added into the game. Mostly because of Murder the Innocent. Murder the Innocent is probably the most powerful when you're just looking at flat across the board damage that it does. And it deals 30% of the enemy's health in one hit. Now, this does mean that it tends to be more useful in single enemy battles, but we still have plenty of those coming up. Not to mention it's owned by 51% of profiles on Zufu, so every other player you see in the game probably has this pet. So it's not even that rare anymore because it's been out for so long and the guides have been out for so long and we had so much downtime in Shadowlands especially that it's not rare. Number 8, the Clockwork Gnome. The Clockwork Gnome is one of the best WoW pets to bring into a battle. It's a mechanical pet, which means it can revive once during battle, but it also packs quite a punch. This pet is a rare drop from Dwarf Archaeology Fragments, so if you're looking to obtain this pet, better pick up Archaeology and start leveling now. Alternatively, if you're lazy like us, feel free to grab one from the auction house. Okay, again, no! Even Wowhead profiles show that every other person who uploads their profile to Wowhead has this pet. And then on Zufus, it's at 74%. So 3/4 of people who use Zufus and upload their profiles have this pet. That said, they're not wrong. It's in a lot of strats. It comes in handy mostly for its build turret ability because it helps knock down barriers, right? That's what it's incredibly useful for. I don't know that it gets used for too terribly much else, but yeah, mostly just build turret, and it's not rare. It's been out since 2010. So keep that in mind. This pet has been out for 13 years. It's not rare. Number 9, the Magical Crawdad. Magical Crawdad is one of the rarest WoW pets for a good reason. I seriously need to have words with whoever wrote this because one of the rarest. Do you even play WoW? And if you do play WoW, clearly you don't collect pets or pet battle or do any of this. Why? Why do you all write these articles when you clearly do not know what you're talking about? I mean, if this was written 10 years ago, I could see this pet being one of the rarer ones. because it came out in 2007, right? Maybe it was rare then, but it came out in 2007. I don't know what to say to these people. Why do you write these articles? And number 10, we have Garlock. This is one of the newest pets introduced in the WoW trading post. It has a unique model and can do some pretty cool animations. If you missed your chance to get one, fret not. Blizzard will probably add him back in sometime later down the road. Okay, so I can maybe see that this one's rare because it's new. Newer pets are always going to appear rarer than other pets, right? It's just about perspective. So yes, Garlock could be considered rare, but 50% of Xufu's profiles have it. And it would only be rare because it's new, and that's it. There's nothing else to the rareness of this pet. But that is it for the esports.net article. I'm giving this one a resounding F. Like, like you failed. There was one pet, I think the Ethereal Soul Trader came the closest to being considered a rare pet. And even that one, I don't remember if it showed up on my list for my top 10 rare pets that I did for the last article we did like this. But no, it's not rare. And I see what you did. For the most sought after pets loophole, pick one or the other, right? Pick a lane. Either it's rare and maybe like sought after, or some of the best. Like I said, I see your loophole. Pick a lane. If you want to talk about the rare pets, maybe come into one of the pet communities and talk to the people who actually do this stuff. Come into the pet community and talk to the people there. They'll tell you. Post on the forums. Now, if you can't post on the forums because you don't play the game, then you definitely shouldn't be making articles about the game, right? Exactly. Anyway, I know I said that my daycare derby races video was going to be next, but I was bored and I did a quick Google search and this came up, and the minute I saw the Unborn Valkyrie in slot 1, I was like, oh no, it's just gonna go downhill from here. And it did, didn't it? It definitely did. However, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree with their list? Do you agree with me? What do you think some of the rarest pets are in WoW to get? And I will link the video here at the end of this one showing the last article like this I reacted to, which will also include my list of the top 10 rarest battle pets at that time in game. So let me know what you think, and until next time, happy battling.